salary in the United States of America is $38,617. Now, I do not know about you, but when I consider this number, I think about how hard it would be to live on just this salary with a mortgage, a car note, insurance, and many more living expenses. How can we expect to be hiring quality teachers with this low pay? Furthermore, low pay for teachers is not the only place the public school system falls short. Budget cuts have also limited the resources available to students. The public school system is a matter we should all be concerned with for a number of reasons. Whether you work in the field or not, a portion of your tax dollars are being contributed to this system. Furthermore, you may have children being raised in the system. Even if you do not have children, children are the future of our workforce, so this should be a matter that we are all concerned with. I come to you today with extensive research on this topic. Along with that, it was not long ago that I was in high school and saw and suffered from the effects of poor school funding. I was not adequately prepared for a college education, and as such, this is a topic I care greatly about. Public schools should receive more funding to pay teachers better and provide better resources for students, which in turn will prepare kids for a brighter future. First, we will discuss the great need for this problem to be addressed. Then we will discuss why it matters and the effects of poor school funding. Then we will discuss how we can provide better funding for schools. Last, we will discuss the positive benefits of better funding. First, let us address the details of poor funding in public schools. Better funding for public schools is absolutely necessary for a number of reasons. Cuts in funding for public schools across America have become quite evident and has had many consequences for schools. According to the Center on Budget and Policy Priorities, states are providing less support per student since before the Great Recession. In at least 31 states, they were providing less funding per student in 2014 than in 2008, and there has not been much of an increase since. In at least 15 states, cuts have been more than 10%. Local and federal funding has also been cut as well. The effects of these problems are very detrimental to students. Class sizes have had to be increased, which puts more of a workload on teachers. Teachers have been cut while student sizes increase. School supplies are very limited and the budget given to teachers is very hard to work with. One Mississippi School Education Association president, Joyce Helmick, who has 37 years of experience in the classroom, stated that their state leaders have created a public education crisis of $1.5 billion. This amount could add up to 5,000 teachers to the schools and allow students to flourish with small class sizes and more courses. Poor public school funding is a problem we should all be aware of because children are affected and are the future of our workforce. This problem is not just one here in Texas. It extends all over America, which is why it needs to be addressed. If we cannot provide adequate classrooms, teachers, and supplies for students to succeed, we cannot adequately prepare them for the future. The faculty of a New York City school all wrote a statement in the Washington Post discussing how their funding has been cut 4 times as operating costs only increases. The teachers even claim that the schools are incentivized to hire less experienced teachers, which can be paid less. One English teacher noted how hard it is to provide meaningful feedback for her students in their writing class. She claims even if she only spent 5 minutes per student, that would add up to 8 hours, and on top of that, she then has to address revising and editing. The main people affected by these cuts are teachers and students. However, when you look deeper, the families of these people are also affected. And even worse than that, since students are the future of our workforce, this problem truly affects everyone. With larger class sizes, less teachers, and small budgets, students are getting left behind. According to the National Education Association, evidence shows that students' test scores will increase with smaller class sizes by 38% in grades K through 3rd. It is quite evident that students need small classes to adequately perform. Gina Warswick, an El Paso teacher, talked in an article about how her classes have increased while her budget has decreased from $1,200 to only $200. She's very worried about having the money to afford supplies for basic projects. Now that we are well aware of the problem, let's discuss what we can do to fix it. Public school funding needs to be increased at all levels, state, local, and federal. Funding for schools funding at all levels and focus on bettering areas where local funding is falling short due to low tax dollars coming in. With better funding, schools will be able to hire more teachers and reduce class sizes. They will be able to make improvements to their schools and create a better learning environment for their students' success. I suggest we all try to raise funding first at the local level, then at the state, and so on. Once more funding comes in, schools can begin to create a better working environment for students. They can first begin by hiring more teachers, then they can raise the salaries for the current teachers to give them enough to live off of. Then they can make the necessary changes to improve the campus and increase the budgets to get better supplies for students. Now that we know how to fix the problem, let us take a moment to imagine what schools will be like with better funding. The benefits of better funding for schools is so great, which is why we should all be concerned with this issue. If better funding is given to schools, we will see an increase in the number of teachers that schools can hire and a decrease in class size. These smaller class sizes will allow teachers to spend more time on each student and help students grow academically. There will be more of a budget for projects, and students will be able to learn creatively and have access to the best education, which is what we should all want. If action is not taken to increase budgets for schools, we will continue to see overworked teachers and large class sizes with poor academic achievement. All in all, better funding is something that must be available across America for schools. We have discussed how funding has decreased greatly since the Great Recession and the effect of these decreases. Proper funding will decrease class sizes and allow teachers to be hired, allow teachers to get a much-needed raise, and provide necessary resources for supplies in the classroom. We entrust our students to these schools for often more times than they are at home. Children are the future of America, and we need to treat them as such. I encourage you all to call, email, and write letters to your local officials and state senators and congressmen members. Express your opinion and demand that they vote on these issues. Also, stay well informed and attend school board meetings so you can understand how the budget is being spent.